Cate Edwards, the oldest daughter of John and Elizabeth Edwards, is getting married tomorrow in North Carolina.
It is sure to be a day of joy, as weddings are, but of course also a day of sadness. The mother of the bride, who was also one of the bride's best friends and closest companions, will not be there. Less than a year after losing her mother to breast cancer, 29-year-old Cate Edwards is ready to say "I do." The engagement to her longtime boyfriend, Trevor Upham, came over Thanksgiving weekend last year, just 2 weeks before her mother Elizabeth succumbed to her long battle with breast cancer.
Wherever I am, wherever you are, I have my arms wrapped around you.
In her eulogy, Cate spoke of the bond mother and daughter shared.
Emma, Jack, and I ended every conversation with our mom by saying, "I love you more." And she always responded, "No, I love you more." And as you can imagine, none of us ever won that battle.
Before her passing, Elizabeth helped Cate plan for her wedding and often spoke about preparing her family for life without her.
The most important thing you can give your children are wings, because you're not going to always be able to bring food to the nest. Sometime they're going to have to be able to fly by themselves.
For the Edwards, the wedding is shaping up to be a shining moment for a family mired in controversy. And the November issue of Glamour magazine has an exclusive interview with Cate Edwards.
Joining us now is Glamour's deputy editor, Lauren Iannotti. Lauren, good morning.
Good morning.
Cate has been very private about all of this, but she's giving you some details here.
Yeah, she did a really beautiful essay for Glamour magazine, and she gave us some information that, you know, she's a very private person. She's been very careful not to get sort of pulled into the maelstrom of what's been going on in her family's life. But she did this very beautiful essay about her mother. She wanted to honor her mother's legacy. Actually, her mother didn't like the word legacy. Her mother's story she preferred, and so she did actually reveal a few things about the wedding and
the engagement too. Some very sweet details about the engagement and how her mother was actually involved a little bit.
Yeah. So Trevor Upham, her fiance, was very close with Elizabeth Edwards, and actually he involved her in the proposal. He had sent the ring to Elizabeth. Elizabeth put it in the trunk of the car, and then Cate went to pick Trevor up at the airport. Trevor popped the trunk and got and popped the question. So Elizabeth was very much supportive of this relationship, and she was even part of the proposal. So.
When Elizabeth passed away last December, I think a lot of people wondered not just about Cate, but also the younger kids. It was Jack and Emma, much younger than Cate. How are they doing? Is Cate involved in bringing them up now?
Well, I mean, she's 30, so she's not their mother, but she is their big sister and has really taken a role of kind of stepping into that motherhood role. She drove Emma to camp last summer, just as Elizabeth had driven her to camp, and says that Emma was like, "Don't worry, I'm going to be fine." Emma was being more nurturing to her, just the way Elizabeth used to, and it reminded her actually of her mother. And with Jack, you know, they trade books. Jack's trying to get her to read the Hunger Games right now because he's totally into it. And so she's very much a part of their lives, and they're a very close family. And I know that was really important to Elizabeth, that they, you know, sort of take care of each other, and she's really doing that.
She has, as we mentioned in the beginning, she's a very private person, and understandably, not only when your family's in the public eye for being involved in politics in this country, but just in general when your family has dealt with a lot of scandal, things involving her father, obviously. That's understandable. But she's coming forward right before her wedding. Any little details she's sharing that may be of interest to folks?
Well, you know, a few details have gotten out. I mean, we don't know the guest list. Obviously, they have a lot of important friends, but it's a pretty small wedding. Yeah. It's 150 that they're inviting. They're doing the ceremony in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and the reception at her parents' estate outside of Raleigh. And it just seems like they're it's going to be a wonderful celebratory affair. I know Elizabeth is going to be a part of like every moment, but they are trying to keep a lot of the details quiet. They're private people, and to the extent that they can be. And but I know that the town of Raleigh is just absolutely rallying behind them and going to do everything they can to keep it private for them.
Lauren Iannotti, thanks very much.
Thank you.
And I know we're going to find a lot of these photos from the wedding online as well.